Do you want to excel in maths and science? If your answer is yes, then let me tell you go ahead with Infinity Learn courses. And to get best discounts, subscribe right now. The link is given below in the description box. Hello my dear students, welcome to the channel. And as you all know that my channel is in now collaboration with Infinity Learn, and today we are going to start with very interesting topic. And the topic that we are going to cover is about human eye. So let's get started and let's learn about human eye. Okay, so before we get started, I would really like to know ask you that can you name a natural optical instrument? I want you to tell me any natural optical instrument. See, optical instruments are those which make use of lenses in them, maybe concave, maybe convex. But here I'm asking you about the natural optical instrument. Yes, you are right. I'm talking about human eye. You know that like we have a sense organ, we have a pair of eyes, and with the help of eyes, you can see the world around you. Okay, so human eye is a naturally occurring optical instrument. Now let's study about the parts of human eye. See, human eye has sclera, choroid layer, cornea, retina, iris, aqueous humor, vitreous humor, optic nerve. So these are the parts which are there in a human eye, and now we are going to learn each and every part one by one in detail. So let's start with sclera. So if I talk to you about sclera, you know that every organ or every part of a body that has got some covering around itself. Okay, same way eye has an outer covering and it's a protective tough covering, white layer, which is called as sclera, right? So sclera, as you can see in this picture, this part is sclera, right? Or you can say that at the outer layer which surrounds the eye is called as sclera. So it is protective also, and it is white part of eye. Inner to it there is a layer which is called as choroid. You can see in this picture, see, this is sclera and this one pink one that you can see is choroid. And you know that the function of choroid layer is to keep the part of eye black from inside, so that there should not be any kind of internal reflection. So we can say that choroid layer is black in color and it is filled with blood vessels. As you can see here, there are a lot of blood vessels also, and those blood vessels bring oxygen and nutrients to the eye. Okay, and moreover we have already discussed that it keeps the eye darkened from inside to prevent internal reflection. Okay, third part is cornea. It is cornea. Now in cornea, so let's see that which part is exactly called as cornea. See, the front transparent part of sclera is called as cornea. The front transparent part, which you can see in my eye too, that is a cornea. And you know that cornea allow the light rays to enter into a eye, right? Light enters the eye through cornea. So we can say that cornea just acts as a window to the world because it allows the light rays to pass through. Inner to it we have iris. See, often we use this term that this person has very beautiful eyes, blue color eyes, black color eyes, brown color eyes. Even you can see my eyes, it is of brown color. So which part of eye give color to the eye? That particular part is called as iris. Right, so iris is a colored part of eye. As you can see in this picture, this eye has blue color. So this blue color is just because of the blue color of iris. So a dark muscular tissue, a ring-like structure, yes, it is ring-like behind the cornea, is called as iris. And iris, you have to remember that it is colored part of eye. It is colored part of an eye. Okay, and also you know that iris has got special kind of muscles in it. Radial and circular muscles are present in iris. Inner to iris you can see this black body, small round body. It is pupil. It is called as pupil. So iris perform very important function because iris regulate, or you can say iris can adjust the size of pupil, and the size of pupil is adjusted according to the light intensity, right? It is adjusted according to the light intensity. See, if you go somewhere in bright light, okay, then we want that the appropriate light should enter through the eye, so that the image which is formed on retina should be clear and it should be easily, recognizable by brain. But so how those appropriate rays will go inside? So for that, if you are in bright light, then iris covers partially pupil and pupil get constricted. It becomes smaller in size, so that only appropriate rays should enter, which can make proper image on retina, which can be detected by brain. Same way, if you are in dark light, then light has to gather, eye has to gather more light rays. So in that case, iris, pupil expands. Pupil expands. Okay. So iris adjusts the size of pupil accordingly, so that appropriate rays should enter, more and more rays should enter, and the clear image should be formed on retina, which can be detected by the brain. And one very important thing, that pupil takes some time to adjust its size according to light intensity. Okay. So iris regulate or adjust exposure by adjusting the iris. Okay, pupil. We have already discussed a lot about pupil. Pupil is this black, part which you can see inside the iris. A small opening in the iris is called as pupil. Its size is controlled with the help of iris. So iris actually control the amount of light rays entering through the pupil. Okay, and you know that the pupil is black in color because it absorbs all the light rays falling on it. Okay, and size of pupil is adjusted by iris, that we have already discussed, according to the light intensity. Okay, next let's talk about lens now. We know that eye is an optical instrument because it has lens inside it. So what kind of lens is that? It is a biconvex lens. It is not made up of any glass. It's a cellular structure which resembles biconvex lens. And we know that convex lens is a converging lens. What do we mean by converging lens? Converging lens is a lens which converge all the rays falling on it at certain point, which make all the rays, when the rays pass through it, it make all the rays meet at one point. This is what is the converging nature. So convex lens by default is a converging lens. So eye has biconvex lens and it is not made up of any glass. It is a cellular structure which resembles the convex lens. So it converges all the light rays falling on it, and you can see that this is a lens and it is held by a special kind of muscles, and these muscles are called as ciliary muscles. These muscles are called as ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles are just holding the lens. They are just holding the lens. Now let me tell you, like, if you wish to see something, far away, or if you wish to see something which is very near, so the focal length of lens has to be adjusted. And who is responsible to adjust the focal length of lens? It is ciliary muscles. So we can say that ciliary muscles help in the accommodation. It helps in the accommodation. Accommodation means adjusting the focal length so that the clear image can be formed on a retina. So if we wish to see something far off, then ciliary muscles relax. If you wish to see something very near, then ciliary muscles contract. And accordingly, the size of the shape of the lens changes. Either it becomes elongated or it becomes short and wider. So it helps in, focusing the object properly so that clear image can be formed. So ciliary muscles, they are holding lens and they are helping in adjusting the focal length of the lens. Now screen of an eye where the image is formed, that is retina. So this is retina. So retina is a part where actually, the rays converge and the image is formed on retina. And also retina, it converts images formed by the lens into an electrical impulse, and these impulses by optic nerve are sent to brain. Brain interprets and analyzes and then interpreted response that what you have seen actually. So these electrical impulses, they are transmitted to brain through optic nerve, and then brain analyzes and interprets that what you have seen. And very important thing, let me tell you, that retina has got special kind of cells in it, cone cells and rod cells. See, You know that when you see around yourself, like I'm wearing a black t-shirt, you can say that this is black. If I'm wearing something pink color, you can recognize that you're wearing a pink t-shirt. But how can we do that? We can do it is possible just because of cones and rod cells. So cone cells, they they're sensitive to colors. They whatever colorful image that you see, that is just because of cone cells. And rod cells respond to the intensity of the light. It responds to the intensity of light, which means that how bright or how dim the image is formed. So rod cells control the intensity of light and cone cells impart color to the images. So you should know about it. And let me tell you one more very important thing. There is a part where most clear image is formed. There is a part on retina where most clear image is formed, which is called as yellow spot. Like the rays when they are entering, so it just converges the rays at a point, and here the clear image is formed, which is called as yellow spot. And blind spot is a part where no image is formed. Blind spot is a spot on the retina itself where no image is formed. Only optic nerve enters through it, which connects eye to brain. So, blind spot and these cone cells, rod cells that we have already discussed, I hope you have understood it. Now, let's talk about two fluids which are present inside the eye, vitreous humor and aqueous humor. See, between cornea and between our lens, see, this is cornea and this is lens. There is a fluid which is present, which is called as aqueous humor. And there is a fluid present between lens and retina, which is called as vitreous humor. So these two fluids, like aqueous humor is present in the anterior part of an eye and vitreous humor is present in the posterior part of eye. Now the function of both the fluids is to protect the part, like aqueous humor protects the anterior part of eye and vitreous humor protects the eye from like the posterior part of eye, and it protects from the sudden change in atmospheric pressure. It prevents the collapse of eye when there is sudden change in atmospheric pressure. So vitreous and aqueous humor. Vitreous humor in the posterior part, aqueous humor in the anterior part. Optic nerve, we have already discussed that optic nerve, like it enters through a blind spot, and optic nerve just connects eye to brain, because whatever the image is formed on retina, it is converted into electrical impulse, and those signals, they are sent to brain by optic nerve, and brain analyzes and interpreted response that what you have seen. Okay, very interesting part. Can you tell me that when you cry, what gets shed from your eyes? Yes, they are tears. Do you know that which glands are responsible for it? They are lacrimal glands. So lacrimal glands are responsible for shedding tears. See, lacrimal glands are present in the lateral part of the eye, above the eye in the lateral part, right? So these lacrimal glands, they secrete fluid, and that fluid cleanses and moistens the eyes. And it is all like the fluid is when you are emotional enough, and the fluid which is secreted in more amount, that is called as, the same fluid is called as tears. So it is secreted from lacrimal gland. You can see that here it is a lacrimal gland, a duct, right? And the duct opens here and the tears are shed when you are emotional. So one thing I would like to share with you, we have already completed the parts of an eye, and one thing I would like to tell you, Bache, that you can avail extra 10% discount. How? You can use this coupon code DE10. So by using this coupon code DE10, you can avail extra 10% discount. So what an exciting news. Okay, let's start with another topic. Very important once again, sense organs. Now, what are sense organs? See, you have seen that we have got lot of organs in our body, but sense organs are very special. Sense organs are very, very special. So, we have got 5 sense organs in our body. So, let's study one by one. Sense organs are basically sensitive to particular senses, right? For example, if I talk about eyes, you know that we have a pair of eyes, and eyes, what they help you to see the world around us. Whatever you can see around yourself is just because of eyes, right? So eyes produces the sense of vision. Second sensory organ, let's discuss about nose. So nose, we have only, all of us, we have one nose, which help us to smell. So whenever you can detect, good smell or a bad smell, that is just because of your sensory organ, that is nose. Okay, the another sensory organs, ears. We have a pair of ears, okay, and ears produce the sense of hearing. Whatever you can hear, whatever sounds you can hear, which are around you, that is just because of ears. So we have a pair of ears, and they help you to listen all the sounds around us, and you can actually differentiate between a pleasant sound and unpleasant sound. And we all like listening the pleasant sound. We all hate and we get irritated when we hear unpleasant sound. Another sensory organ, that is tongue. So whenever you're eating something, you say that it's very tasty, it's yummy. So how you come to know about it? Obviously, tongue help us in tasting things. On tongues, there are taste buds present, and they are sensitive to different kind of taste. And that is the reason you can, distinguish between different kind of taste, that this particular thing is bitter, it is sour, or it is sweet, etc., etc. So tongue give you the sense of the taste. Okay, another sensory organ, the fifth one, is skin. You know that our whole body is covered with skin, right? And it is used, it covers our whole body, and it is used to touch and feel. Like if I hold this thing and if I say that it is hard or smooth, whatever I say, I can feel it just because of skin, because my skin helped me to sense these kind of things about any substance which you hold or touch. So skin help us to feel if anything is hard or soft, rough or smooth, hot or cold, or etc. So it actually help produce the sensation that what kind of object you are holding, or it gives you a sense of touch basically. So few things to be touched very carefully. You know that when you are holding knife, you have to be very careful, right? Because it may, sometimes the skin may get pricked from somewhere and it starts bleeding. So we have to be careful while holding things. So now let me tell you, like all these sense organs which we have discussed, ears, eyes, tongue, your skin, like the five organs that we have discussed, they have got specialized cells in them, right? And these specialized cells, they are sensitive to different stimulus. Like some cells are sensitive to touch, which are present in skin. Some cells are sensitive to smell. So these receptor cells, there's a specialized cells, they get activated due to stimulus, and when they get activated, they generate an impulse to the brain, and then brain analyzes and interprets its response to the target organ or an effector organ. For example, if you touch any hot substance, then what happens? In our skin, we have receptors, right? And if you're touching a hot substance, that means thermoreceptors gets activated. They send impulse to brain. Brain analyzes that what has happened. You have touched something hot. So what to do? You have to remove your hand. So that response comes back through nerve again. The one which takes is a sensory nerve, and the nerve which bring the response from the brain to the effector organ is the motor nerve. And when the motor nerve brings the response, then what happens? Your effector organ is muscles of your hand. They will contract, your hand is withdrawn, and this is how the effector organ respond. So the same thing happens with all the sensory organs, that they have got receptors. They get activated because of certain stimulus. They generate impulse, electric impulse, which is sent to brain. Brain analyzes, interpreted response through a motor nerve, and then the effector organ respond accordingly. So with this, we have come to an end. I hope you have understood both the topics thoroughly. That is, we have discussed the parts of eye and also the sensory organs. So please revise them all, and please make your habit to write and learn. So thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.